Hello everyone and welcome to a new video dedicated to our beloved Snoopy and the world of Peanuts. Today we will explore one of the most sympathetic and richly detailed strips from the Peanuts' first year, published on November 27, 1950. This strip highlights one of Snoopy's most distinctive aspects, his incredible sensitivity to his surroundings, especially food. Today's protagonists are Snoopy, Charlie Brown, and Patty, and together they give us a moment of pure comedy, simple but ingenious, that shows how Charles Schulz was already a master at capturing ordinary moments and turning them into something special. In the strip we see Snoopy demonstrating his extraordinary hearing skills, drawn in by the sound of a candy being discarded by Patty. It's a scene that begins quietly, with Snoopy seemingly relaxed, but develops dynamically and culminates with a joke that cracks a smile. Let's go vignette by vignette to find out all the details and delve into the historical and narrative context of this small but significant story. In the first vignette, Snoopy is sitting quietly, seemingly relaxed and calm, in serene surroundings. His posture and context suggest a quiet moment before an impending action, which is announced by his outstretched ears. The dog seems immersed in his thoughts, or perhaps simply enjoying a moment, precisely, of calm. This moment of quiet is the classic prelude that Schulz liked to use to surprise the reader with a sudden change of tone or pace. Visually, too, the simplicity of the background reflects the essentiality of Schulz's graphic style at that time. Snoopy, while not yet achieving the level of anthropomorphism that would characterize him in later years, already demonstrates a strong personality. His positioning in the center of the scene suggests that something significant is about to happen, and it is interesting to note how Schulz creates an atmosphere of anticipation without resorting to text or dialogue. In the second vignette, dynamism enters the scene. Snoopy perceives a sound, a distant rustle, and his ears begin to move sharply. This reaction emphasizes the extreme sensitivity of his hearing, which makes him able to pick up even the smallest noise. Here, Schulz shows us the dog's incredible hearing ability, emphasized by the movement of his ears. This type of reaction will become a recurring character trait. Snoopy's ability to react to sound or smell stimuli, especially related to food, will be one of his defining characteristics. This vignette also represents a moment of transition, where the initial calm gives way to impending action. Interestingly, Schulz manages to convey this without the use of words, relying solely on the power of images. In the third vignette, the action literally explodes. Snoopy launches himself into a wild run, heading toward the source of the sound he has sensed. The speed with which he moves is visually represented by the dynamic lines drawn by Schulz, which emphasize his agility and the speed with which he acts when something catches his attention. This scene gives us an idea of Snoopy's vitality and energy, traits that will always be present in his character. Although we do not yet know what the destination of this run is, Snoopy's urgency and determination let us sense that he has sensed something irresistible. It is interesting to see how Schulz uses movement to bring the character to life, making him almost tangible to the reader. In the fourth vignette, we finally find out the reason for Snoopy's reaction. Charlie Brown and Patty are together, and Patty is holding a candy wrapped in paper. Snoopy, now sitting next to them, looks on contentedly, having achieved his goal. Charlie Brown, with an expression that mixes amazement and annoyance, comments that Snoopy is able to hear the sound of a candy wrapper even a kilometer away. This punchline is the key to the humor of the strip, a hyperbole that makes Snoopy's incredible sensitivity comical. Patty, on the other hand, seems affected by the situation, holding the candy with an air of curiosity. This vignette not only ends the strip with a laugh, but also underscores the main theme: Snoopy's ability to perceive and react to food-related stimuli, a trait that will make him one of the Peanuts' most beloved and recognizable characters. Insights, trivia, and anecdotes. This November 27, 1950 strip is a perfect example of how Schulz constructed humor and narrative through minute, but highly effective details. Snoopy, at this early stage, is still depicted primarily as a realistic dog, but his actions begin to suggest greater complexity. The idea of a dog reacting to the sound of a candy might seem trivial, but It is this simplicity that makes the scenes so universal and entertaining. The interaction between Charlie Brown and Patty is also significant. The two children represent the innocence and spontaneity typical of childhood, and their dialogue adds a touch of clever humor to the scene. In addition, this strip highlights Schulz's talent for creating comic dynamics with just a few elements. The candy wrapper becomes the catalyst for the entire scene, demonstrating how Schulz could turn everyday objects into key narrative elements. This kind of approach would be a hallmark of his work for more than 5 decades. Finally, it is interesting to note how Schulz uses Snoopy to represent a kind of special connection with the world. The fact that Snoopy senses the sound of candy while the other characters do not highlights his uniqueness and makes him an instantly recognizable and fascinating character. Over time, this sensibility will be developed further, leading Snoopy to become not only a symbol of the Peanuts, but also one of the most beloved icons in popular culture.
If you enjoyed yourselves, subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and activate the little bell to stay updated, and see you next, friends.